The announcement is this. I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout next Friday. Not today, but next Friday. And that particular Google Hangout will be focused on primarily one thing. I'm asking everyone to bring their own personal rap to this particular Google Hangout.
I'm going to expose myself on YouTube. I'm going to make a YouTube video embarrassing myself.
Thank
you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy
G-Man. G-Man.
You know you're breaking the law right now.
I will stomp a mud hole in you, sir.
I am not playing, Dragnet.
My name is G-Man.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is G-Man.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I sold $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is G-Man. G-Man. My name is G-Man.
No big in this guy, me.
My name is G-Man. G-Man. My name is G-Man. G-Man.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
G-Man.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is G-Man.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I sold $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is G-Man. G-Man. My name is G-Man.
No big in this guy, me.
My name is G-Man. G-Man. My name is G-Man. G-Man.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries.
Well, I'm looking at, someone told me that a bunch of people had commented under the video that I did towards Amy here. That's why there's two of me. And am I wearing the same? I am wearing the same shirt. Just noticed that. It's odd that I wear a shirt, so I am wearing the same shirt. Yeah, geez, I didn't realize, because like I said, I don't look at my comments typically, so I'm all these new people. I guess some people did share it. Statistically, children who are spanked are more likely to join the Foot Clan when they're older. I think that's one of the most interesting statements here. A lot of people didn't like her. So if you've not watched that video, I've avoided being mean. Did not mention her weight, not to my knowledge. I want to say I actively stayed away from her obvious weight. But there's some troubling things that Amy there had said concerning what she calls discipline. And there's not a video to shame people who still use corporal punishment. I know quite a few people who still use corporal punishment. That's on them. My wife and I have decided not to. If I can find a better way to go about doing things in my life, a more efficacious way to, encourage health, well-being, all that sort of stuff, then discipline also falls into that. I want to say it was very constructive. I listened to it, and I had taken a few notes just so I could look up a few things. And Amy has this really weird way of expressing her rationalization of certain actions, and it's strange. I'm not saying that I'm looking at the character I have here before me. His rationalization for things that he does are funny and sad, but it's expected. He's delusional. He is actually delusional. And he's hopped up on Jesus juice, so it makes sense in that aspect. Amy had made a statement that really kind of just boggled my mind, is that something to the effect of, she thinks that people actively try to raise like hoodlums, like their parents whose goal with their child rearing is to raise someone who's antisocial and ultimately destructive towards society. That's fucking ridiculous, but that's what she thinks, so I wanted to address that. Anyway, good old Jersey Tard here. Uploaded how to build something that matters here on YouTube. And I'm always, just anytime I see anybody put anything like that, I'm always going to turn a side eye to that. Now, don't get me wrong. I know plenty of people who, you know what, this is their bread and butter. They don't really have stable employment or any employment, and YouTube is what they do. And hats off to you if you can do that. Not me. Now, I don't ever want to be caught in a position where my financial well-being is based on whether people like me, because that's what it is. Let's not split hairs here. That's exactly what the fuck it is. People have to like you or what you're saying in order to financially support you. It's very, very seldom do people not like you and then want to give you money. That's not like it's, you're mob boss now. So it's just absolutely interesting. And, like I said, hats off to the people who do that, because at some point, and I get this feeling based on things that I've seen in the past, and I continue to see, how you express yourself and what you encourage or discourage will be influenced by how people financially support you. A little bit of irony with the fact that people actively throw money my way, but the irony stops at the fact that I've been doing this far longer than there have been super chats and this, that, and the other, and I actually don't give a shit. And as Shani has said before, I am quite mean to my subscribers, and yes, I will continue to be, because that is the most authentic Dragnut you're going to get. I don't give a fuck. You can pay for my meal, and I'm still going to call you a fuckhead. Anyway, speaking of that, thank you, by the way. I would be remiss if I did not say thank you. I actually looked at StreamYards, and a couple of people asked me, while people were abusing the super chat thing, sound, whatever the fuck it is, that'll be going towards Mrs. Drag's late Valentine's Day present, which it'll probably be like a $50 GameStop gift card and a night out at Red Lobster, because she's a fancy lady like that. So that's more than likely what's going to happen. I don't get that till like next week anyway. So anyway, some of y'all were asking, well, what was that I was playing? That was a PlayStation game. Not PlayStation 2, not PlayStation 3, not PlayStation 4, not PlayStation Portable, not the PSP. Is that the same thing? I don't know. I didn't have all that shit. That was a PS1 game from 1999.
Black people do coke.
Black people do coke. Robert Blair says, you're a hoodlum. I am a hoodlum. Thank you. That was Digimon World, the very first one from 1999. And I had the urge to finish that game because I never did. I could never get all the stuff that I needed to make them do what I want to do. And so now, with the advent of the internet, I have multiple guides on how to do exactly what I want to do in that game, because back in some of y'all wasn't even born, 1999. It's a long time ago. But internet wasn't what it is today. So couldn't do that. Had NeoSeeker. That was the game. They had no IGN.com. They had NeoSeeker. They had forums. Anyway, Yeah, I don't know what this is. G-Man wants to build something here on YouTube. I
Like
don't know.
do coke.
I know what he says he wants to do. I don't know how he thinks he's going to do it. Tatted Philosophy says, "You are so Ron. We are human beings." Thank you. Thank you. I am a human being. Actually, no. I'm a human-shaped, like, wet potato. Slobbering potato, excuse me. Slobbering potato. 10 points, you get that reference. That's so funny and accurate. All right. I don't know what he plans on building. I don't. I don't know if you want to build a community of people who give you affirmation. Cool. I guess that's something awesome. If you want to build a ministry here on YouTube, I guess you could do that too. Find some like-minded individuals, situations, and gather them all up, and y'all have a fucking circle jerk. That's so cool. Or you could have something cool like a channel that has a whole bunch of fancy words like God, TV, and radio. You put them all together, and you just lay in your fucking bed, and you look like the saddest sack of shit anyone ever looked at. You'll have a great channel as well, I'm sure. But G-Man has more lofty goals than that. It is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. You too can live like this motherfucker. You too can live in somebody's fucking attic and their basement, because he doesn't just live in a motherfucking attic. He also lives in the basement. You could have both. It's an upgrade. It gives you variety. But come on, folks. Don't you want to live forever? Don't you want to live forever? Don't you want to go on? You just gonna just fall down one day, just go to sleep and not wake up? Don't you want to be in the same place that this motherfucker's going? No, I don't. I'll take my chances in hell, and hopefully they have some very, very sexy demonic hookers down there that have excellent coke, because guess what I'm doing forever? Hookers and coke. And yes, my wife's going to be there too. Anyway, send everybody to hell. That's sarcasm, by the way. That's called sarcasm. I don't actually believe in that shit. It's sarcasm. I'm joking. Because I have to say that, because you don't know the difference when there's some autist something going on here. I don't know, maybe. Who knows? Anyway. Play. Something, go. Do something. I ran out of coffee today, so I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Is this? He's just sitting there. He's been sitting there for half a whole minute. A whole minute. He's waiting for the fucking numbers to increase, the live count. He needs to see them live viewers, but it's not about viewers. It's not about subs. Why are you sitting there? Say something.
Okay,
Stupid.
everyone. Hello, everybody. Welcome to
It's like somebody
GTV.
just beat him.
I am G-Man, your host.
Oh my God.
The GTV network. I call it the network because I'm working with people like Troy Parasitism and Nephilim Free. We're all working together to wake people up about the lives of.
What are y'all? Hold on. So you're on here, and because I know True still watches my stuff. I still catch him like saying shit that I say. Other people still catch him saying shit that I say. But so hold on. So you're on here working with some of the most inept individuals I've ever come across in my life, and so all three of y'all who have a fucking average IQ of maybe 85. I'll give y'all that. I'll give you 85. Best. 85. Not really any kind of formal or informal education to speak of. None of y'all have been able to do much other than convince stupid people of some stupid shit. That's it. That's it. What have y'all actually done? Who have you actually encouraged? I want to know. I know Neffy has actually had some influence on some people. I'm not going to pretend like he hasn't now. He's had some, but he's made people dumber. Has he encouraged people to go back to school? Has he encouraged people to get the fuck out of Mississippi? Has he encouraged people to stop drinking? I'm pretty sure that last one's true. But other than that, I've not been impressed by any of the shit that y'all have said ever. And we've been interactive for almost, it's going on 7-8 years now, probably more 8. I think it's 8 or 9. I keep going back. I think it's actually going on 8 or 9 years. And every year that has passed that I've been on here, I have increased my net worth as far as where I've been in life, my education, and just anything involving self-edification. But I've seen y'all languish. I've seen you gain a whole house and lose it and go back to living in a fucking basement. I still see you making the same stupid ass arguments and the same stupid ass mistakes and the same stupid ass conversations. Neffy has managed to become even less irrelevant than he already is. And what the fuck is True done? He has looked more gaunt than any other time I've ever seen him. I'm glad now he's going to talk about fitness because I'm really, really curious about this intermittent fasting and meth diet that he has going on. Tell me, what about y'all's life? What about y'all's intelligence? What about y'all's online appearance that we're aspiring towards? What about that? I really want to know that. I'm not even fucking joking right now. I'm not even kidding. There's nothing about y'all in y'all's life that I envy. Nothing at all. It's the butt of a joke. Several, to be in fact, between myself, Scientist Sam, Xavier, people I actually fucking hang out with in real life. Y'all never met each other in y'all fucking life. Y'all suck each other's dick online. But that's fine. A lot of people get on here and suck other people's dick because it gives them affirmation because they don't want to do anything else in life. But that's fine. Why? Why should anyone feel inspired or moved about anything that's being said? I would love to know. I gotta know.
Evolution.
This is bothering
Big
me.
Bang cosmology, and some things that are taught in the science books that are not true. And we all believe, and we all agree, at least on the fact.
Yay! The 3 scientifically illiterate people all agree on something. Yay!
That there are a lot of people online that just believe evolution because their teacher told them that it's true. When in
My
reality,
average looking wife is in the chat.
there's a lot of problems with the theory. I don't know. True empiricism, enough on free might say it another way, but that's how I'm going to put it. With that being said, guys, welcome to GTV. Today, I want to teach you guys how to build something that matters here on YouTube, how to be a real success on here on YouTube.
How to be a real success.
And not be ineffective on here. For starters, you're going to need to do a little bit more than your homework, that I can promise you.
Oh, I don't know where he got this idea from that all I do is homework. I think I had a conversation in Discord. I want to say Sam was there and a few other people, and they were asking me about that. And it took me a while, but I think I know what he's talking about. He has heard me say, hey, folks, you need to go do your homework. Because I do remember saying that fairly recently. But I couldn't remember the context, and I thought about it. I was referencing people doing their due diligence. Hey, go do your homework. Go do your research. He doesn't know that that's synonymous with research. He thinks that I'm literally talking about going to do homework, like schoolwork at home. That's why he keeps saying that. And I'm just... Context. Woo! Fuck all context. Fuck all that shit. Oh, yeah, I see people mention. So if y'all have not heard that, me and the wife have purchased the tickets for Faithless Forum here in a few months. So I'll be in Austin doing stuff and everything and whatnot. Knock 3 times on the door at the hotel if you're there for the orgy.
If you want to be successful at passing your test when you go to school, then doing your homework is very important.
See?
However, doing homework for calculus and physics and biology and all that isn't really going to help you build something that matters here on YouTube. All right.
You're right. You're absolute G-Man. I agree with you 100%. Me doing, I took calculus like a year and a half ago, but doing my biology homework isn't going to help me here on YouTube. You are so right about that you don't even know how right you are. You are so right. So right. That's a goal that extends out of this box here. Because doing that type of homework will help me actually, get a job in the future and be competent at my job, because that's kind of important when you do something other than barrel stacking for a living. So shout out to all those folks who are barrel stacking. I've been there.
Number one, and this is probably one of the most important things I'm going to say in this video, is that you really need to know why you started your YouTube channel to begin with.
Because I fucking wanted to.
It's massively important for you.
This shit here is his life. Y'all think I'm joking. People think I'm fucking around. People think I'm joking when I tell folks that this is his life. He doesn't have an actual, real life. Yes, he goes to work. Yes, he gets just enough to save up for a debate with Matt Dillahunty that'll never happen. Yes, he pays some bills. Yes, he buys himself food. He goes and he chases skunks in the fucking forest. That's it. This shit right here is G-Man. He identifies himself with what he does on YouTube. His YouTube goes away, he goes away. He doesn't have it. I shut my channel off. I go back to fapping the fucking hentai. After this, folks, I'm gonna wash my ass and I'm gonna go to the fucking lab. And I get to practice doing what I'm trying to do and trying to become in the future. Scientist in training. Go one to appliances. But it's interesting to see him want to dedicate so much time and effort and encourage other people to. Because what he's doing here has been so efficacious. He's converted so many atheists, let me tell you. 0.
To be able to let everybody know why you're on YouTube to begin with. If you're on here for a hobby, then tell people.
Well, he seems downtrodden in this video.
If you're on here to...
You know what?
Just have some fun when you're bored, tell people that's what you're doing. But if you're on here because you have a specific goal, let people know what that specific goal is, why you're here. You keep repeating it because your audience is going to constantly grow. And that's how they're going to determine whether or not they want to support your page or not. All right.
Okay. So I saw this. Can y'all see that? I don't know if y'all can see that too well. I'll read it out. Of course, it's good friend Gary. All right. I used to do what many are trying to do to me. Before I became, I'm getting triggered right now. I'm getting so triggered. His spelling and grammar is worse than my 8-year-old's. My 8-year-old knows how to use punctuation and capitalization. This man is about 40 years senior, 4 decades. He has had 4 decades to not type like an idiot. And this is terrible. Oh my goodness. Don't make fun of him for fat. I still have a Fat Farm shirt that I can't get rid of. I want to, so I want to find, and I'm sorry, I think it's South Pole. It's a blue South Pole shirt and it fits perfectly. I don't want to throw it away. It has so many holes in it. But before I became a Christian, I used to tease people, put them down, belittle them, shame them. You know the works. I did those things.
Freedom. Ronnie, Stinky, and the Manatee have a trifecta of health. With their patented diet of Mountain Dew, Chili Mac, and Matthew Too can look like them.
They got it down to a science. I did those things to make myself feel better about who and what I was. This here is interesting. All right. Okay. This part right here, I think, is interesting. There's that old, saying that people who make fun of other people are just doing it. They're just projecting their own, insecurities, and to some degree, sure. Me, I enjoy it because I enjoy good shit talk, but I expect it to be reciprocated because I feed off of that. It doesn't make me feel better denigrating him. This brings nothing to me. I would rather see somebody who has, let's say, shit handed to them in life and watch them squander it, because that to me is gratifying. It makes me feel better about myself because I actually work for the shit that I get in life. That's what I get off on, but that's just me. So this guy here, I'm pretty sure some of y'all could have figured this out. Like, this isn't rocket science. This is just the same kind of humdrum stuff that your mother teaches you. Oh, he's just saying that because he feels inferior. Yada. But he's acknowledging it, so I'm glad. Has he gotten past this like he says? No, I don't think so. When I met Jesus, he changed all that. He met him in a bathroom at a truck stop. Yes, I still get in the flesh and repeat dead works that lead one to destruction. So he's acknowledging here that he is still a fucked up individual, which, okay, cool. We're all fucked up individuals in individual situations. That's nothing truly unique, but I think that he is being somewhat honest here. I think that I have any FUBU gear laying around. Not anymore. I used to. I actually had the knockoff FUBU. I had peanut butter with the F that it looked clearly like a P. G-Man loves to use this line that he gets in the flesh when he clearly knows that what he's doing is terrible. But I'm just in the flesh. Well, if you know that what you're doing is bad, maybe you should stop. No, I'm just going to be in the flesh and I'll just repent later. He doesn't care. He actually doesn't care. He knows that he can do whatever the hell he wants, and then he can just ask for forgiveness later, and he'll be fine. He'll get a nice tongue lashing from Veckel. True will come behind him and tongue his ass, and he'll be all right later. And it'll be okay, and it'll be another victory for G-Man. G-Man gets to do what he wants to do, and then he gets the safety net of being one with Jesus, and then having his enablers and coddlers on standby just to make sure that he doesn't feel too bad about it, because that's important. Now, I'm really starting to learn that here about people on the internet, is that without enablers and coddlers, they would have to really face who they are and consider the fact that their decisions and their rationale aren't as rock solid and airtight as they really think it is, and that using excuse after excuse after excuse doesn't really fly in the real world. But when you have a major domo just to kind of sit there and co-sign whatever the fuck you say, then no, you can live in your delusion and continue to do nothing. Overall, I try to help people feel better about themselves. That's a goddamn lie. What? How? What? Overall, they need a comma there. Overall, and a capital I. Overall, I try to help people feel better about themselves. How exactly do you do that, G-Man? What is it that you do on YouTube, since you are here with a purpose? You're building something. Build. What are you doing? What are you saying? Oh, you're telling True that his hair looks less oily today? Is that what it is? Are you telling Veckel that he sounds extra smart, not insecure today? What is it that you're doing? Telling Nephew that it doesn't look like he has a beer gut today? That's cool. You make him feel better. He might not get the beatus. But what are you actually doing? Because I'm not seeing it. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm being harsh. Why don't you tell me, True? Because I know your ass is watching. What is he doing? Many here on YouTube don't see this unless they talk to me off YouTube. Bitch, I've sent you emails and I've contacted you on Skype. So don't pretend like I ain't one of those people. You don't like to respond now because you're in your fucking feelings, which is fine. But don't pretend like it's only your dick suckers, only your coddlers and enablers that know all these this secret knowledge. Ah, okay. Well, you know what? I'll grant the fact that there are people who know you outside of the tubes who understand you better. I'm pretty sure Ken Jones is one of them. I'd be willing to put money on it. What I don't think is that you can pull that bullshit on us and pretend like there's some other aspect to you that we're missing. I don't think so. Could be wrong. I don't think so. I'll be accused of lying because of the type of ministry I have. No. You'll be accused of lying because, bitch, you lie. You continue to lie. You continue to lie even now when you would tell people you lost your job. It's crazy, but I have a video. I have receipts that show that you didn't lose it again, and you continue to lie about that. So, no, sir. People say that you lie because you keep lying. And you lie, excuse me. I'm gonna coin a new phrase here, because when he hears that he's a liar, G-Man attaches this other meaning to it. Anyone who's ever lied at any point in time in life is a liar. If you lied and told your mother that you didn't take a piece of candy from the store as a kid, you're a liar. If you've never lied past that point and you're still alive today, you're still a liar to him, okay? That's how he defines lying. So, lying in perpetuity. G-Man is a perpetual, a habitual liar. A pathological liar. Not to mention a grifter. So, I'm going to be very specific. If you're going to call G-Man out for making up lies about people, be very specific. Use a little bit different terminology to pinpoint. One of G-Man's favorite lies is that somebody is committing adultery on their wife. Or I should say spouse, because it really doesn't matter. Because he said about me, about Fiona, about Alex Botten, about Nate Brody. He loves that one. That's one of his favorite ones. He said that about one of his brothers in Christ. Not Faithful. About calling Post Malone. Vocab Malone. Excuse me. Vocab. He made up that lie about Vocab Malone. Back when he was mad at them. And went and ran off to the Black Hebrew Israelites and told them that. That's one of G-Man's favorite lies. Is that someone's committing adultery. It's one of his top 10 favorite lies. He loves to tell. So, it's interesting here that he says that he'll be accused of lying because of the type of ministry. No, because this ministry is run by someone who has a severe issue with lying. They don't really have a strong relationship with the truth. Kind of loose and fast and loose. So I can handle people making fun of me most of the time because I know I remember where I came from. Yeah, no, you can't. No, you can't. The fact that you keep mentioning people making fun of you tells me that it's still bothering you. Just saying. A parody is not the same thing as putting people down. I agree. I actually agree with this. You can parody someone without denigrating them. And I enjoy parodies of me when they're done really well. I have a lot of mannerisms that are unique to me that I think would be funny to watch other people do. And when I get around to it, I might do a Shannon Q parody. I just got to find some lemons to suck on, some good red lipstick. I don't expect a non-believer to understand this. Only Christians and those with similar passages.
G-Man lies so much he makes Ken Ham and Kent Hovind look honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hashtag forged by Jesus in fire. And it's always a selfie of him. Or yeah, I need to show him how to actually do. Oh, did he? No, he still doesn't know how to take screenshots and crop them. This is strange. That's the homework comment from before. It's always selfies of him. Always these weird selfies and like shitty screenshots. You ever notice that? Just another Yoda. And who is the fuck? The fuck is this? She is worried. Like that chick in the background is worried. She is like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Who is this? She blink twice if you need help, madam. Blink twice. Like he said, he went up to Dallas. Oh man, I think he suppose he has family up there. I don't know. Anyway,
So you got to know what the heck you're doing here to begin with. And number two, you need to build your audience. And I know that sounds very, very simple and very, doesn't take a lot of thought, at least to some people, to get that. But it's important to build your own audience, because you're going to have a lot of people watching you that like you, and you're going to have a lot of people that's watching you that don't like you, and they're going to disagree with you. Even Matt Dillahunty has people watching him that don't like him.
yeah.
I don't know how many of you watch Epic Rap Battles of History, or some of these channels that ain't got nothing to do with what this channel is all about or whatever. The Lions Den basketball community, some of these other communities, they got people that watch these people, and they get a ton of likes, but they get a ton of dislikes as well, because they have people that don't like them. Jacqueline Lynn's an atheist, and Jacqueline Lynn has a lot of people that like her, that watch her material, and they like her videos.
There's a reason people don't really care for
watch
her
videos.
whole plagiarism issue.
I can promise you this, that they're more concerned about the people who like their videos than they are about the people who don't like them. All right. The reason why, for example, I can do what I do on YouTube and the way I do it on YouTube, and I can still have Christian support on here, because most Christians on here that watch me understand that I have a purpose, and some of them have even come to me in private and have told me that they feel like I'm necessary, that they need somebody to stand up to these trollish YouTubers and these people that just want to trigger
Necessary.
you and try to make you look bad, because they know I'm not going to put up with it. I will throw them out the room faster than the speed of light if
So
they try to
glad.
mess with me, especially if I'm the one that's hosting, and if I have mods.
That's cool, and your channel will become irrelevant. The only reason this channel even gets any attention, G-Man, and you've already acknowledged this, is that I do reviews of it. Y'all see my hairline? Y'all see how far back it's going? G-Man, let's not kid ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves. The only people who go in your hangouts are people who watch my channel. People who think that you're a clown. That's why you dress yourself up as a clown. Just saying.
I'm not going to put up with what they're doing.
I'm not gonna put up with it.
things
Oh
like that.
darn.
But I maintain a lot of Christians watching me here on YouTube, because they know I
Do
preach
you?
the gospel. They know I'm about people getting saved. I take a lot of time out to do Bible studies on here on the G podcast.
His whole
trying to
tone in
lead
this
people
video
about
is
the
just
Hebrew
precious.
Israelite movement. As a matter of fact, before
This is the
before I left Shield's
beleaguered,
Wife,
downtrodden
got kicked out, or
G-Man.
whatever you guys want to call it, or whatever. Me and Sister Cherry used to have long conversations about all of the people that was leaving the Hebrew Israelite community, and believe me, there was a lot of them. You know what I mean? But the devil isn't happy about those kind of things, so the devil's going to try to create strife within the Christian
devil.
community to get us to to fight each other and everything. But I think even now a lot of them understand that, and that's why I keep a positive relationship with them. I don't argue with them on air no more. I try to be as supportive as I can. I try to promote their YouTube channels whenever I can when I'm talking about these things, because I know at the end of the day we're all fighting for the same purpose, and that's to see people get saved, despite some of the distractions that's on here. So you got to know why you're on here. Number two, you got to build your audience. Your audience is going to understand you, especially if they've been watching you for a long time. I've come a long way. I went from a person that didn't know anything about technology, and I would use this and to show people what so-and-so said, and do this and show everybody what so-and-so said, and I did goofy stuff like that, and I pre-recorded my videos. Then live shows came, and hangouts came, and I've tried to build my audience that way.
You
And
learn
even
how to
there
use
are even some
technology.
atheists out there that knows
Congratulations,
that I'm sincere about
Grandma.
what I'm doing, because I tried quitting YouTube on numerous occasions just to have them call me in private. And I'm talking about years ago. I'm not talking about this recent thing that happened. But years ago, I've had several of them contact me and told me I better not leave YouTube, because a lot of them are listening to me. A lot of them are listening to what I have to say.
That's actually true.
Right?
That is
doesn't know
actually
anything
true.
about these people, because I don't mention their names, and I never have, and I never will.
So believe it, and some of y'all can like, oh yeah, okay, G-Man, you're just saying it. No, I've actually had confirmation that is actually true. People will call him. So G-Man has a pretty meager, if you want to like total numbers, meager audience when it comes to Christians. But they're a specific type of Christian, right? They're ones that have his odd theology, and I say odd, it's a theology that's self-serving. When I say G-Man theology, how he interprets the Bible. There's no official label or domain that it resides in as far as a actual denomination. There is a specific brand of Christianity that is very self-serving that G-Man subscribes to. And other Christians who find that type of self-serving theology helpful or insightful love that he's on here expressing it. It's just the same thing as someone has a really bad idea and you find other people with very similar bad ideas and you go and support them. So this crowd comes from like the Black Hebrew Israelite versus Christian audience. That sort of area on YouTube that not too many of y'all are familiar with. And they need as many people as they can focused on the Black Hebrew Israelites. So because G-Man does dedicate quite a bit of time to that, him removing himself as a player, from that chessboard is disadvantageous. So they encourage him and they'll enable him and they will look past the stuff that he does and says towards atheists just so he will continue his march on the Black Hebrew Israelites, because it's a war zone to them. It is a spiritual war zone, and people dedicate a lot of time and money. Y'all be really surprised. A lot of time and money to combat Black Hebrew Israelitism, whatever you want to call it. So that is actually true. So they're less concerned with him, and a lot of them have encouraged him to not even engage atheists. There's actually several folks in the background who have encouraged him just to stop because he can't control himself. And that's what ends up driving him away. It's not the Black Hebrew Israelites. They don't really regard him as anything other than fodder for their propaganda. But G-Man dedicates a lot of time to them in the sense that he is just another voice against them. He's not someone that they fear, in a debate on a neutral platform, that sort of thing.
But there was a lot of people doing that during that particular time. So I know
doing
that there are atheists
though.
watching. I know there are people on the fence that are watching.
But actually, just to kind of speak on that for a little bit, it's interesting that you'll hear other Christians kind of in our little realm speak about how good G-Man's doing against Black Hebrew Israelites. I would love the Christians who say that to actually take some time and to consider what do you think he's actually doing? Do you think that he is deconverting people, or do you think that he's hurting that effort? Because I actually know. There's a way that I know that I'm not going to talk about. And there's a scenario that I will show you and will remind some of you. How many of y'all remember when we were doing like the 3 Black Heathen show and that we brought on a Black Hebrew Israelite and we had that guy go do his homework and watch some G-Man videos? And we said, hey, this guy says that he can bring you back to Christianity. And then we talked to him a little bit about his epistemology just in general. He says, okay, I'm going to go listen to this G-Man guy. And then we brought him back like a week later, and he had not moved in position at all. G-Man was not, in fact, the Black Hebrew Israelite guy said the same thing that we said. G-Man's just yelling at them. He's not actually having a conversation. There's nothing to learn there. So that's one of the scenarios that we use to kind of test to see how efficacious this ministry actually is. So some of y'all will remember that. That was a really good test. That was a really good trial, because G-Man claims and other people that what he's doing is effective. If what he was doing was effective, why did that guy come back on our channel and say that he wasn't moved by anything that G-Man had said? And in fact said the same exact stuff that people had always said about G-Man for years. He hadn't known about G-Man until we introduced him. So there was no prompting of any of that. He didn't have an opinion of G-Man. So I find that interesting when I hear Christians say that.
Freedom! Why is your shirt on? It's Valentine's Day. The chat is horny.
Oh, okay. Sure. Here you go. All right. There. Because it's fucking cold here. That's why. There we go. So, if you're horny, send nudes. I always want to caution folks, before you start talking about how effective something is, think about how you're going to measure whatever this scenario is. What is your metric? How are you gauging that? Right? If we're talking about someone changing theology from A to B or B to C, then okay, let's look at that. How many people have moved from A to B or from B to A? What are the numbers? Who are they at? Where are they? I need some testimony, something, right? I'm just going by anecdote because it really can't. There's only so much we can do for that, other than what people profess. But G-Man hasn't really been that effective with atheists. I would imagine that carries over to Black Hebrew Israelites. In fact, I find it even more interesting that I've caught some of his videos being used as propaganda. Yes, if y'all did not know that, Black Hebrew Israelites have propaganda. Remember when G-Man went off on his Christian brothers and sisters and he went on Cross the Line Radio? Oh, there's some interesting stuff that came out of that. In fact, one of the interesting things that the Black Hebrew Israelites like to say about white folks using black folks against other black folks, guess where G-Man was in relation to Vocab Malone? Yeah. Standing for Christ got used that way too, actually, in some propaganda. Guess who helped him? Guess whose videos were featured in some of those propaganda videos? Just saying. So there is instances of G-Man being involved with the Black Hebrew Israelites and being involved with other Christians trying to help dissuade folks. But part of the problem with G-Man is that he goes off and he does his own thing. If there are debates that are being hosted and you are part of a group of people who are debating and you guys are arranging it, it doesn't help when you are a member of this group and you decide that you want to go off and go rogue and start debating folks when you have terrible arguments that have not been vetted. When you have resources of people who are educated in these topics and you refuse to use them. If any of y'all remember watching the G-Man Exposed series during the summer of G-Man, you'll remember me talking about this. And I even brought G-Con on, and G-Con explained himself about some of the stuff that G-Man would do. The same terrible arguments that he has against atheism, he has terrible arguments against Black Hebrew Israelites. And so going off into a debate with terrible arguments only to be used as fodder for their propaganda later. Different stuff like that, folks. So I would love it for G-Man to actually show somebody who he has brought back to Christianity. There may be a few. I believe there is one. I want to say that maybe there's one or two. But I'd love to see them. What atheists has he actually converted to Christianity? I know he'll just take credit for whoever just so happens to cross that line. But how so? What was that defining moment?
There are questions.
He black, we got a black man in office. He black, we got a black man in office. He black, we got a black man in office.
I would love to know what some of y'all do
we got
in
a
real
black
life.
man in office. Black. When Barack Obama was in office, they didn't try to make sense of anything. They just said, he black, we got a black man in office. He black.
Twitch over here taking Rev's mom's money.
Stop.
Poor little Gary.
Yes, poor little Gary. Did I? I think I did enable the long. Okay, anyway.
And contact me in private and we talk. You all know who you are. And I just do my thing on here. Yeah, I get silly on here and I do parodies and I do things like that and whatnot. And I'm going to continue to do those things because some people on here just don't get it. They think that they're the only ones on here that are able to be comedic. Oh, I can be comedic too, and I can be a real pain in the butt being comedic too.
Oh, he can be a pain in the butt.
The things that used to bother me here on YouTube don't bother me anymore. I know where God has brought me, and I know where I'm at today, and I know what He's getting ready to do with me. So, I'm not really concerned about some people coming in here no more dropping me because they have proven they have no morality. What I don't think a lot of
Maybe
people
pinch some
understand
moonshiner.
about what I'm
Okay.
doing here, my goal
Fair
is
enough.
to expose the lies of the last days, especially when I'm on my main channel.
He's
So
here to expose.
when people come in the room and they're doing the things and I'm claiming that they're doing, you know, and they're going on their channels calling me a liar. Let me get rid of this green screen because it's using my eyes as a green screen. I don't know if that's healthy. You just get rid of this.
I'm
green
actually
screen.
surprised he figured out how to
Serious
work the
here.
green screen.
Let's get rid of this here. Okay, great.
Oh, he's in
I have
the
to actually
attic
get a real
again.
green screen. I don't know what I did with it. I got it packed because I'm gonna be moving soon, and I don't know where it is. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, a lot of the things that they're doing here just don't bother me no more. I've learned how to do my settings on here in such a way where I don't even get their messages no more. I found a way where I can just put their names there, and I will literally not see their. I mean, they can leave messages on here. Other people can see it, but I can't. And that's the way I wanted it. I don't want to see their messages. On my email, I did something with my phone that's very simple. Where because before, if somebody sent me an email, I would instantly get it. Now I don't even see their emails anymore. It's just an awesome thing.
Ignorance is bliss.
You know what I mean? To do something like that. The only time I get to see it is when
Freedom.
By super chatting, we are investing in the Dragnock Silvas channel in the Greater Dragnock. Silvas Inc. I own the majority in stocks.
You own the majority in stocks, do you? Angry Ro- Yeah. No, if I had to, I think Streamlabs lets me look at the super chats by person. I want to say it does. And yeah, you're up there. Yeah, Angry Ro- as far frequency,
have
yeah,
things
you're up
going
there.
on in my personal life. And
Amount,
I
I have to look
go
at
into
it.
my email and I have to go look at certain things. So I know the emails are coming.
That's why I'm
and things
surprised
are there, but
nobody
I'm
has
not looking
figured
at them.
out that there's another super chat
So the stuff that bothered me
that's
before don't bother me no more. And I
that's
know why it doesn't
past
bother
the He Black one. There's
me.
another
I
one
wish before I would have
that
started
I've
my
referenced
YouTube career
before.
on
No
here
one's figured
that
it
I
out
would've
yet.
took the time out to learn about how to handle certain people, but I didn't do it. Now that I know how to do it, I know not to let certain things bother me no more because I know what I'm getting ready to do. I've already proven, if I go into New York, that I'm not playing around with people no more, and that
Okay,
I'm
you
willing
went
to
to
show people.
all right. This New York bullshit, dude. So Scientist Sam went to New York and called you out. You made excuses, and then Positively Godless went to New York after him, and then you made excuses as to why you didn't want to meet up with him. And he was live. Hey G man, I remember the video because he was panning around. Stop saying that, dude. Like you said that Scientist Sam brought a gun to New York. So he somehow got on a plane from California. He had a gun in California. Got on a plane with a gun and then flew to New York to meet you with said gun. How you get past TSA? Come on. You bullshit, man.
It's how silly and dumb and how much of liars they are. And again, a lot of them are not going to understand that because
No, I'm not going to put the
they don't
amounts down
understand
there.
how
You
we
got to figure
Christians
it out.
think, and they don't
The
understand
second,
what our values
the second
are,
I say it,
and they
people
don't know
figure
what
it
we
out
listen to.
because I say it.
And you
and
know
they
what? I'm
abuse
kind
it.
of happy that
Because
that's the case because
one
imagine
beyond
if they
He Black
did,
is long.
then they can really form a lie that could really hurt us. So, and we're not ignorant to the devices of Satan. We know what it's all about. But guys, if
He
you
must have
wanna
got rebuked in his fucking
build
video.
something here that matters and that's going to affect other people, stick to why you got here. Nephilim Free, I'll say one thing about that dude. He's probably one of the more consistent people on here. I'll say Nephilim Free, Biotic Dance. who happens to be an
Consistent, one
atheist.
word.
Strong atheist. I would say even so far to say that she's militant. She probably would just say that she's strong, but I would say she's militant.
He is like the only person that
Give
actually
Bionic
mentioned
Dance
Bionic
credit.
Dance.
She's been doing what she's been doing for a long time and has been pretty consistent with it. She makes certain rules about herself, about what she won't do and what she will do on her channel, and she's
Guess
consistent.
she's
I
an
have to give
adult.
her props for that. That's an atheist I respect. Nephilim Free, I have a lot of respect for him because he is against evolution, because he used to be an evolutionist. Then he found out that evolution was wrong, and he has devoted a very large portion of his time to educating people here on the internet on why evolution is not true.
Thank
Now,
you,
whether or not people
Nephilim
wanna-
Free. Let me just say, Nephilim Free, I thank you for educating me on what evolution is. Without having this over-the-hill drunkard teach me biology, I don't know where I would be in life. I appreciate you, Nephilim Free, and all the hard work that you've done repeating the same inane comments for years, getting nowhere with much of anybody who has graduated past high school. Thank you for your service.
Believe him or not, that's their business. But I'm just saying that he's consistent about what he's doing, and he's building something that matters. Because whether Nuffle Free understands this or not, his channel has affected me. His channel has affected
I'm not
a
surprised
lot of people here on the
Nephew has
internet,
affected you.
and has caused them to have a strong position to be against the theory of evolution. Dr. Ken Hoven's the same way.
Dr. Ken Hoven.
Dr. Ken Hoven talks about more than just evolution. You know what I mean? But he is so consistent with what he does with it that honestly and truthfully, I believe
Nephew
that,
cut down on
that
his
we're-
drinking,
there's ultimately
Brenda.
in
He
the
doesn't
millions
do
now.
it so
I
much on
think
camera
we can
anymore.
argue that millions of people have
This is before,
taken a strong stance
this is
against
before you
evolution
came to G+.
because of this man's ministry.
Like years
Like,
before.
Imagine if this guy never went to these universities and challenged these professors. Shout out to Dr. Ken Hoven for the work that you're doing, sir.
Shout out.
You're making a difference in a lot of people's lives, even though, and actually, I'll get to that in my next point. Even though there's some people out there that don't agree with that. And I also want to let you know something. If you try to build something of value, whether it be in the political field, the religious field, in the educational field, or whatever, let's say Drag stops being a troll and he decides he wants to be serious about teaching people evolution and really getting into it.
Why would I
Like
teach people
scientists on the
evolution?
channel. And he starts, believe you me, there are going to be people that disagree with him that's going to show up to his channel and they're going to attack him. And they're going to attack him. They're going to challenge his knowledge. They're going to challenge his understanding. It happens with everybody. It doesn't matter what side. It doesn't matter what.
Okay, so this, I guess he's trying to make a greater point, which I want to try and give him some credit on. That, yeah, if I do a serious video about evolution, because there's not plenty of videos around already on evolution. Okay, there's people, I don't believe that. Okay, cool. Why? I can't see how we came from the monkeys. It's usually stupid shit like that. And I don't really feel like entertaining people who don't have a cursory understanding of what the topic is. So, okay, so let me bring it to another realm. If I start talking about, let me pick something in, okay, if I start talking about epistemology and me and Saka are talking about RTB and JTB, justified true belief versus reliable true belief, and we start going over certain aspects of, what constitutes a belief, we start bleeding over what constitutes knowledge and all that shit. If G-Man comes in and tells me I don't know what I know because I can't know what I know, he's not adding anything to the conversation. He doesn't have the requisite understanding of the topic to offer any cogent points, or I should say salient points in a discussion, right? So offering your personal credulity as far as what you personally do and don't believe has no relevance in what is empirical evidence, right? When we're talking about something, a concept in science, what you are willing to believe really has no bearing. So no, I don't, there's really no point in me doing that, because that's all that we're going to have. And that's all that it really matters to somebody like Neffy, somebody like True, somebody like Veckel. It's about what they want to kind of believe, what's more than like what convinces them personally. Well, I can't see a microbe becoming multicellular, even though I know about mitosis. I can't believe that. Okay, thank you. You've told me what you are willing to believe. Awesome. Cool. Where does the conversation? It doesn't. It didn't go anywhere. It stops right there. Because you're talking to somebody who isn't in the right mindset to even have discussion in the first place. I would love to think that the sequence that I'll probably be looking at here in the next 3 hours is going to be the sequence that I'm looking for an isoform of an enzyme that I've been doing research on since last year. Maybe it's not. I would love to believe it, but what I want to believe don't mean shit when I get in that lab. Nothing. So it's that, for people who don't understand what Vegeta type, Vegeta doesn't speak of the French. We don't speak of the French.
What side you're on?
What side? Here we go with the
One
side
of the things
shit.
I want to let people know about this GTV channel is very
Size.
different than my G-Man channel in the sense that on purpose, I have decided to primarily get more negative attention here on GTV than I do positive attention.
He has made a decision, folks. Did y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? He has made a conscious decision to get more negative attention on here. It's not that he generates the negative attention. No. He made a decision. And the decision that he made was for the fact of the matter of how you all react to him. He decided that.
Okay? A lot of the people that you see subscribe to this channel are primarily atheists. There's a majority of them. If they were to all unsub,
I told you that.
I'll probably have like maybe 100 subscribers on it, maybe 200 subscribers on this YouTube channel, maybe 3. Because there's several Christians that are subscribed to this channel that don't watch very often. They got some Hebrew Israelites that are subscribed to this channel too. They actually tell me and laugh at me about some of the parodies that I do. Actually, one of them is Sharpening Sword, and there's some other people in here that contact me. I got their phone numbers. A lot of people think I'm not doing nothing with the Hebrew Israelites, but I'm on 2 calling lists on here. You know what I mean? One of them is...
Well, G-Man, what if I told you that I actually helped moderate a discussion with Sharpening Swords as well as a few other folks from different camps? What if I told you that? Would you believe me? Would you believe me if it was on G-Con's channel? Just because you name dropping folks don't mean shit. You don't think I don't pay attention to that? You're wrong. Just because I don't talk about it don't mean it don't happen.
With I think his name is Makawan, I think, and the other one is Sharpening Sword. So I'm definitely doing work. I just haven't had a lot of time to like invest into it like the way I want to. But I get more negativity on this channel because the majority of the people that are sub to this channel are people who don't like me. If I want that to change,
that's true,
I can change that like that. And no, I don't have to compromise, and we're going to get to that in a minute, or anything like
Most
that.
of the people watching don't like
do
you, you're going to
is just
generate
change the
negative
topics,
attention. Yeah.
and they'll stop watching.
Or you could
That's
change
how I
your
got them
behavior.
to stop watching the main channel. They don't know nothing about the Hebrew Israelite stuff. They don't care for it. You know what I mean? And they don't have a long attention span for it. And then also,
well, people will sit and watch me for an hour and a half. So your Black Hebrew Black Hebrew Israelite videos aren't really that long. So it has nothing to do with attention span. It's just you're talking at them, and they're yelling at you. Watching 2 idiots yell at each other, is fun if you're watching a bum fight for like 3 minutes. But having this protracted yelling contest isn't something that people admire. Now, if you think that you're doing something by yelling at them or talking at them, by all means, my man. But that's not how you have a conversation.
I have a lot of Christian moderators that will throw them out in a second. I'm even thinking about giving some Hebrew Israelites mind control to stop them from they don't like the atheists. I mean, you think my opinions are strong? I don't think I can legally repeat what some of the things that these Hebrew Israelites want to do to these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's bad.
Like
Those
to talk
Hebrew
just as
Israelites
much
do
shit
not
as
like
you.
atheists.
To anybody else.
Don't like them.
Okay.
I know they don't like me, and I can tell you what they said about me.
They call you gay.
You heard it
actually.
yourself in some of the videos. They've said that
They call you gay. They think
they
you're
can't
gay.
wait for the Most High to return so they can, cut my head off and whatnot. But they have said a lot.
Yeah,
more,
there's
much
there's
harsher
some
stuff
that have said, but
concerning
most of
the
them just
community.
call you gay and they don't want to be near
Not
you
like them.
because they're really homophobic.
And they should keep that in mind when they're trolling them because these people are all over the place.
Yeah, because
All
everybody's
over the
scared.
place. Like
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
they're growing.
That's actually true. There's actually a major. I think ISUPK actually has a headquarters here in Houston. I want to say it's ISUPK. It might be IUIC. Let me double check. I always forget. Let me double check. ISUPK Houston. Yeah. Oh, we're in Belfort. Yeah. So it's for those. Okay. So let me actually show y'all here. Yeah. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. So here's their website here. So yeah, ISUPK has a major, fucking, what do you call it here? Headquarters. And this is them interacting with people. So, yep. Black Power Rangers are here in Houston. No, I've not gone to see them. I have better things to do when I'm in Center Houston. Like, I actually have fun and enjoy life. So, maybe one of these days, I might head over there and interact with him. But yeah, Wolf King said, yeah, the black Hebrew Israelites at large think that he's gay,
That's why we got to keep doing what we're doing.
and that he goes and harasses them because
lot of
that's his
people
way of flirting.
We'll give
That's
up.
that's not something I'm saying to be funny, right? Because we've talked about that, we've joked about it, but no, that is actually something that is very prevalent that I've noticed. That if you just listen to what some of them are saying, and his different groups are calling him gay, and the reason he likes to put hands on him and touch him, because there was an issue a few years back that who was Deborah West just said, "Where you come from? Who are you? Why are you in my house?" There was an issue where G-Man was getting a little bit too friendly with some of the black Hebrew Israelites that he was harassing. And I say it's harassing, even though they harass people, accost people as they're walking by. G-Man got upset that some of them had put hands on him. Well, G-Man's going up and patting these guys on the stomach and shit like that. The stuff that y'all see that like he likes to touch me and shit on some of the videos that I've shown y'all, he does that to them. And I'm like, you know, he almost got hit once. And I had to tell him, keep your hands to yourself, friendly. But he doesn't realize that as much as you talk about how violent these guys are, you and touching dudes on their stomachs and shit like that ain't cool. Because they don't know you. And most of them dudes are very homophobic. Incredibly homophobic. So that should tell you what you are and are not allowed to do. But he doesn't care. And so some of them got physical because he's put hands on them. So they put hands on him. He went and cried. Faithful, they hurt me. She called me, pushed me out. You watched the video. So G-Con was like, G-Man, you put hands on another grown man, and they put hands on you. What part don't you understand? And he got mad. He got mad. Because he doesn't understand that your actions have consequences. Now, I think, personally, they should have chin-checked him. They should have punched him right in his fucking throat. Because that's what he needs, honestly. I'm just going to be completely honest. He needs to be punched in his fucking throat. Because the type of stuff that he likes to do, especially with guys who are, according to him, that violent. I don't think the ones that he deals with aren't that violent. There are some that are violent. There's some that got arrested recently for violence. But it is funny that he does not understand that he just can't do that kind of shit with the same people he keeps telling us are so goddamn violent. Weird. It's almost like he's playing this shit up. And I'm putting an emphasis on that because one of the people who lives in his area, a friend of mine, was asking me, why does he go to New York to talk to these folks when there are people in his like literally in his backyard, that are like preaching the black Hebrew Israelite stuff. Evidently the folks in his backyard are way more violent than the folks in New York, because the folks in New York are, I guess, more docile. So he goes to the more docile camps and fucks with them. Some of them. He goes fucks with them rather than the ones who are really, really, really violent in his own backyard. So he knows, but then he'll come on YouTube and pretend like he's really doing something.
Trying to build something on here that matters because they and the reason why they give up because they listen to the enemy and then they tap out. They give into what they say. They become evolutionists. They become secularists. They think like them. They behave like them. They walk like them, they talk like them, they eat like them, they dress like them, they bathe like them, and they will ultimately become them.
Bathe like a secularist. How does a secularist bathe? And
a compromiser is a person who really didn't feel all that strongly about what they believed to begin with. Because if they did, they would probably still believe the things that they believe.
It's a joke, G-Man. It's not serious.
When you become a compromiser, you actually hurt your channel. People will stop watching you, especially when other people who know you see what you're doing and they expose you.
Pay attention to who's watching you.
Stop watching you. You're going to lose support.
It's not about views, folks. It's not about views. Remember that. You made
a decision to say, Jesus, thanks but no thanks. Now I'm going to deal with these people over here. Stick to your gums. If you believe what you believe it until somebody can actually show you that you're wrong.
When he talks about don't try to make friends with atheists, is he talking about me, Dragnot? Yeah, he is. I feel like people keep trying to give me advice and G-Man won't acknowledge me in the chat and the streams. Converse, you need to have somebody, another Christian that he already likes, speak for you. And if he sees you in my chats, he's just going to presume that you agree with everything that I say, even though that's stupid. Even though that's absolutely fucking stupid, and then people could clearly read what you're putting in the chat and gain an understanding of what your position is, like a regular person. But you have to consider the fact that G-Man and a lot of his closest dick suckers are fucking stupid. There's not a nice way for me to say that. A lot of them are dumb, especially Veckel, especially True. All they're gonna tell G-Man, oh yeah, I saw him in Dragnot's chat, and leave it at that. Because the second this idiot hears that, oh, he supports Dragnot. Right? So what you need to do, Converse, if you just want to just sit down, just talk to understand his theology, which I implore you, please do, is to talk to SJ. Go through a Pretty White Woman, and I'm not even joking. Like, go to SJ and say, hey, sister in Christ, we love Jesus, the God, the blood, the sheep, all that weird shit that y'all do. And say, hey, I would like to have a sit down with G-Man. G-Man's going to respond to her really quickly. And then have her help facilitate that, and that's your best way to get the G-Man. Veckel is busy doing shit, so he's not really too interested in being a mediator. So he's going to keep his distance. If you can get a hold of True in between, his bouts of whatever it is that he does, and his work and letting his dog lick his ass, then you might be able to, and that's a long shot. But right now, SJ has her ear to the ground. Because that's the new Pretty White Woman that's close to him and is, she has his number. So that's my suggestion. I'm pretty sure it'll work based on what's worked in the past. So,
Wait until somebody shows you that you're wrong. And if somebody does show you that you're wrong, make a video talking about how you were shown to be wrong. Don't mock people. Don't laugh at people. Show people
don't laugh at them. Doesn't hurt his feelings. People who cough like that got AIDS.
And if your channel is making a difference, then there should be some fruit.
Fruit?
There should be some fruit.
Pay for fruit.
You should, like for example, on my main channel, I know people who have come to Christ because of what I do on my channel.
Who?
Now, some of the atheists will say to me that, G-Man, tell us the name of the people who have come to Christ.
Yes.
Bring them on there so that we can see them.
Yes, I want to see evidence.
Like, no,
I'm genuinely, I want to know.
And what they hear is this. You didn't serve anybody. And that's not true.
No. There's a claim, and I just want the evidence. I am willing to accept it. I am willing to provisionally accept that claim is true. I want to have a certitude that it is true. There's a difference, and I want to draw that distinction. I don't doubt that happened. That's very possible that it has happened. But I reserve the right to want evidence for the claim. It's your claim. You provide evidence. If it happened just like that, it's so easy. Show me the fruits of your labor. Don't just talk about it. Don't just fucking talk about it. I want to see it.
True. All I'm saying is I'm respecting the people's privacy. They have asked me not to say anything, and I'm not going to.
Okay, sure. Okay, all right. They want their privacy.
You understand what I'm saying? They had YouTube channels. They ain't got channels no more. And a lot of them living their lives, and it's still Christians. Right.
I'm willing to bet money that it was somebody who was already a Christian who fell away from the faith and then came back.
I've talked to people over Skype. I have talked to people in private, and they have told me that they started going to church again.
Okay, so what he's referencing here is interesting because there's only a handful of people who still use Skype and who still have his old contact information. That's what I think I know who he's talking about here, because there's only a few people who actually still communicate using Skype. It's none of the new people who are here, and I say new people. People keep telling me to stop trying to be friendly to atheists and you'll grow your channel. I'm like, I don't care about that. Yeah, and I can imagine. So the people who are telling you that, Contender, how are their channels doing? You don't have to be derogatory. How are their channels doing, by the way? If they're giving you advice, are their channels growing? Or did they get to a point and they've just stagnated? Because I always find that's funny where folks tell other folks shit like that, well, their channels have languished for years. Because I know of a few people who say shit like that. I know Veckel says shit like that. But what does he know about growing a channel? You know?
They're paid. They're reading the Bible. Do Bible studies. You know what I mean? Trying to get their understanding back.
I don't think this is
Why would they
medication.
wanna
I think
go
he's
public
been
with that
rebuked
so they can be ganged up
recently.
and bullied by a bunch of atheists.
I think someone rebuked him.
You understand what I'm saying? It's not smart. I mean, I know Dragman has been in the military and he understands strategic
Stagnant,
strategies
yeah.
and everything. So there's some things you do and there's some things you don't do. You don't tell your enemy what you're doing. You understand what I'm saying? You don't do it. It's stupid. The other person
My
is able
military
to prepare
tactics.
for you.
Well, so okay, G-Man, let me inform you. How long have I been gone? Just been fucking talking. G-Man, you are not an opposing military force. There's no need for me to. You're not my adversary. Okay, let me be very, very clear. Yeah, I've been almost gone for an hour and a half. Okay, I'm gonna end this soon. G-Man, you're not my adversary. I don't actually hate you. I have an aversion towards you because you're fucking weird, and you're just not my people. So I'm sorry. There's a lot of just distasteful things about your character that I honestly just don't identify with, just to be honest with you. Even if I really didn't know you from Adam, there's just things that I pick up on instantly within the first 5 or 10 minutes of meeting you that I can just tell, like, no, you need to be kept far away from me for the most of the remainder of your life. But know that I don't have YouTube adversaries. There are people that I talk about on my YouTube channel, and that's where you fucking stay. The most that'll happen is you'll become a joke between me and other people in my life, and that's what it is. There are now tons of jokes that are between me and my wife, me and Scientist Sam, me and Xavier. Anytime the word narrative comes up, we all get a good giggle. Anytime we have the opportunity to say everything and whatnot, that is a hilarious verbal tick that I use every opportunity to say everything and whatnot because it's funny. But that's it. That's as far as you fucking go. There is no grand scheme in all of this. There is none. But you like to think that. And the reason Echo actually made me a chat mod. Oh man, he must really have faith in you. But it's interesting that you, in your mind, I take up a certain place. It's not just G-Man. Let me give G-Man some credit here. It's not just him. It's other people too who take me far more seriously than I take myself, especially on here. I don't actually have any hate for Steve or any of the other fucking cats. I hope that they live their life. I hope that they have prosperity at some point and they get the fucking affirmation that they need. I hope G-Man gets out of a goddamn basement and moves into a decent apartment and lives the remainder of his pathetic life a little bit better than what he is now. And I'm not bullshitting with that, folks. I actually do hope that they do better in life because I am. Regardless of what they do and the shit that people say, I know where I'm heading. Even if I fail for some reason, if I have a debilitating disease, I will still be okay. Buck Melanoma says Gary doesn't have a clue about being a soldier. No, he doesn't. Not at all. But I think that the fact that people make this their life, they start to really identify with their online presence rather than who they are as a person, really shows you the disparity there. It really shows you what that disparity is as far as their mindset. And it kind of brings it all home when you see people go through real shit. And I say real shit. One of the dudes that I follow, I rate Alex, might have MS. You know, he just, had to go do some emergency CTs. And so, he's enjoying doing his YouTube thing. But that's when the shit hits home. Like, that's when shit gets real. And that to me, means a lot more than people having their fucking feelings on the internet. It is just... I take time and I look back because I think folks get wrapped, and this includes folks I like, get wrapped into some of this shit way too much, way too seriously. Because ain't shit gonna change. Ain't shit really gonna do much of nothing. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Might play a little bit more of Digimon World.
if you do that. You know what I mean? So if you're building something that matters, you should be able to see people being changed. I remember when I first started the Hebrew Israelite thing, there wasn't a lot of videos out there. And for me and Faithful to God had long conversations about this. There was not a lot of videos out there, not a lot of them at all.
Nope.
Of anybody going out there and confronting these people and straight up refuting them, like straight up. Because most of the videos that you saw was the Hebrew Israelites recording Christians getting embarrassed because they didn't know what these people believe, and many Christians are trained today with that "for God so loved the world" stuff, that they forget that there's other verses in the Bible that you can use. And then I went out there to North New Jersey. I made my video, and a lot of people appreciated what I did. It was one of the first videos on YouTube to actually go out there and refute the Hebrew Israelites. And you would think that like people like atheists would be happy at a video like that. You know what I mean? But they're not.
No.
It's almost like they want them to thrive and they want them to succeed. One of these days, I'm going to do an interview with a Hebrew Israelite because atheists need to hear this. They need to hear this come out of the Hebrew Israelites.
See, he thinks that because we don't give a shit about what he does with the Black Hebrew Israelites, that's an endorsement of what they believe. Well, G-Man, I don't hear you going after pagans, so you must agree with what pagans do. Like, that's a stupid fucking argument. That's an absolutely stupid fucking... I've actually sat and I've listened to some of his Black Hebrew Israelite talks, or whatever he wants to call them. They're yelling at him. I'll give y'all a summation if y'all never watched it. They are on a street corner. It's multiple guys. They have a megaphone and they're shouting at people, accosting people as they walk by. He is in the street usually, yelling at them. They're yelling Bible verses. He's yelling Bible verses. And then there's intermittent laughing from him because he thinks he scored some type of point. He thinks because one of the guys puts down the microphone for a second to talk to someone else next to him that he did something. That's what the videos are. He really thinks that he's doing something like that. I implore you, go and watch some of his Black Hebrew Israelite videos where he's out in public talking at them. Most of them ignore him. The ones that I've watched, they just ignore him or they just call him gay. He's not having a conversation with them. I'll go to Vocab Malone's channel and he'll be talking to some of the guys from, what did I watch a while back? A few months ago, I watched a live stream with, I think, Vocab Malone on, I think it was on Faithful to God's channel, and it was Vocab Malone and some other folks who had just come into New York, and they were talking to the guys in GMS, and they were having a discussion. They were talking about scripture. That was an interesting conversation to watch because they were conversing with one another, and their different understandings and interpretations of biblical text. That's not what G-Man does. Because I sat and I watched all that. I think I even donated a few bucks to it so he can get some better equipment. I do enjoy watching that. But that's not what G-Man does. So he wants to compare what he does to other Christians who are going after these cats. But it's a stark contrast. You yelling at people, G-Man, is not you having an impact on them. Excuse me. You are having impact. You're having a negative impact. Because then they can just say, look at this stupid Christian who's just yelling at us. But let him believe what he wants. There's a reason he got kicked out of those groups. There's a reason he can't work closely with any of them anymore, other than a few who are also just kind of doing their own damn thing anyway. Just saying. Don't get me wrong. There are still interpersonal issues within the group, just like any other group. But the interpersonal issues that existed were not of the same caliber that G-Man, because it was a means to an end for G-Man. G-Man needed affirmation from other people in a mission that he somewhat similarly shared with other people. But it became all about G-Man, about what G-Man can do, and how you can better represent G-Man, how everybody else can be mini G-Mans. And so it's all about him and his fucking ego. It's not about preaching the word. It's not about Jesus Christ. It's about G-Man. At the end of the fucking day. And don't just believe what I say. Don't just believe what the fuck I say. The folks are out there. You can go and talk to Vocab Malone. Don't ask him to disparage his brother in Christ, but ask him about the issues that existed within G-Man's tenure with him as a group member. Go ask him what he thinks about G-Man going on Cross the Line Radio and G-Man spreading the lie that he had committed adultery. What good Christian does shit like that? You can be mad at someone, but to purposely go and spread a lie in a broadcast of your most sworn enemy that you're claiming that you're up against is really interesting. Really fucking, because you're mad at them because you have interpersonal issues. You're willing to throw away your credibility because you're mad that they kicked you out the group. That's really interesting. You have a problem. You're in the you're in the Allies army, right? You're a fucking American soldier and you're mad at your second lieutenant because he put you in a shit detail. So you defect and go join the fucking Axis and go fight Americans? Like that I'm trying to draw that parallel for that's essentially what G-Man did, and for quite some time. But you know, it's another Tuesday for him. That shit's cool. That's why I say no. He has Black Hebrew Israelite leanings. His allegiance isn't to Jesus Christ; it's to G-Man. And when G-Man, who is above Jesus Christ, his supposed Lord and Savior, wants to do something, he's going to make every excuse in the world to do it. Fuck what Jesus said. Fuck what his Bible says. Fuck what anybody says. G-Man's going to do what G-Man wants to do. And he's mad that I call him out. That's why G-Man has no problem grifting Christians. That's why he had no problem grifting folks when Faithful to God was having his issues with his dad. Man just lost his fucking father. But this fucking idiot decided that it was cool to try and take money from his fucking fundraiser because his ass is broke. That's the kind of fuck shit that I talk about. But he's mad that I called him out for it. Be mad, bitch. Be mad. There's a reason I got called and you didn't. Just saying. Just saying. So, I'm going to be upset. But at the end of the day, it's been shown time and time again. G-Man lying. G-Man grifting folks. G-Man trying his best to appear to be something he's not. And he's upset when I call him out. He's upset that I call out his enablers and his coddlers. But that's what's going to happen. Anytime you start hitting the support system from folks who need somebody else to live off of, who attached to them in the fucking umbilical cord, they're going to be upset because they can't live and do their own thing by themselves. Anyway, I guess I'll play y'all out, which interestingly enough, that phrase, playing y'all out, has been co-opted by folks who still watch my shit. So, GG, folks. Hope y'all enjoy it. See ya.
The announcement is this. I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout next Friday. Not today, but next Friday. And that particular Google Hangout will be focused on primarily one thing. I'm asking everyone to bring their own personal rap to this particular Google Hangout.
I'm gonna expose myself on YouTube. I'm gonna make a YouTube video embarrassing myself.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy
G-Man. G-Man.
You know you're breaking the law right now. I will stomp a mud hole in you, sir.
I am not playing, Dragnet.
My name is G-Man.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is G-Man.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I sold $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is G-Man. G-Man. My name is G-Man.
No big business that I mean.
My name is G-Man. G-Man. My name is G-Man. G-Man.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey City. Come to Jersey City. Come to Jersey City. Come to Jersey City. Come to Jersey City.
Jimmy.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Jimmy.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I sold $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Jimmy. My name is Jimmy.
No big business that I mean.
My name is Jimmy. My name is Jimmy.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey City. Come to Jersey City. Come to Jersey City. Come to Jersey City. Come to Jersey City.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the